How's it going, guys? I'm Connor from Running Warehouse. I'm back at it with Scott from Saucony. Today, we are talking about the latest and greatest trail shoes, and what we've got is the Saucony Xodus Ultra 4. Now, Scott, we brought version 3 out to our influencer summit this past year. Every influencer was grabbing for that shoe. They wanted it. They wanted to test it on every element.
Nice.
Tell us what we have new here. How is this model elevated?
Yeah, thanks, Connor. So we're really excited about the Xodus Ultra 4. There's 3 primary things that I would say have elevated the shoe. If we start with the outsole, it's just going to be a more aggressive outsole. You'll see there's a logo there that I'll talk about in a second. The second is going to be premium underfoot feeling. And then the third is going to be a rugged upper. So we've made improvements to all 3 of those variables. So the first thing to talk about would be the outsole. So one of the improvements that we have made is by using the Vibram Mega Grip outsole compound. So that's going to be one of the most superior traction materials that can be used on a trail shoe. And we wanted to give that trail runner a more superior traction experience when they're running in the Xodus Ultra 4.
Yeah, I think with the last version, a lot of our testers were saying the grip really did a good job, especially with the stack height. This isn't a low to the ground shoe. There's a lot of stack underfoot, so traction was something that excelled, but now it's been elevated with that stickier compound. The lug changes, I'm sure, are gonna have a little bit of an effect. Overall, better traction is always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely, Connor. You're gonna see that you have that bi-directional lug pattern that's gonna give you traction going uphill or downhill. You also see how much that's segmented to provide traction on different terrain and when you're on uneven surfaces. So we're really excited about how this material is gonna perform.
Yeah, and now going from traction to the midsole, that's something that is very exciting because this trail shoe featured the Power Run PB in that last version. It gave that responsiveness, that bounciness on the trail, while still being a very stable trail option. People felt very comfortable on the trails. How have you used that philosophy and gone a little bit further with version 4?
Yes, the Xodus Ultra 4 might be one of our most complicated midsoles that we have in our line. And it's primarily because it's a dual compound midsole, where in the interior side of the Xodus, you're gonna actually have a Power Run PB material, and then it's surrounded by Power Run. So you get the support of the Power Run material, but you get that underfoot feeling of just having plenty of cushioning on a trail shoe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same philosophy we saw in the last version. I think a lot of people liked that because you got the protection for those longer distances, but you also got that speedy feel of the Power Run PB that it felt effortless to pick up the pace in the shoe. So again, it's always fine-tuned. Power Run PB between models are always gonna be tweaked, and this has been tweaked specifically for the trail. Now, when we talk about super foams, a lot of times plates come into the picture. Does this have any form of carbon plate, rock plate, anything embedded in the shoe?
No, Connor, there's actually no plate in the Xodus Ultra 4. Primarily, there's a couple reasons why. The first is like when we think of the stack height of the shoe. So it's 36 millimeters in the heel and 30 millimeters in the forefoot. So you have a lot underfoot for a trail shoe. Additionally, that Power Run PB material has such a high rebound that the protection it's providing when you're on uneven terrain or you come in contact with a rock or a root isn't really gonna create an imbalance that we felt was going to inhibit the foot or cause any danger to the foot. So the protection you already have underfoot is pretty significant. Third thing is that if we were to add a plate, it almost got too stiff up in the forefoot, so we wanted some flexibility in the shoe.
Right, and oftentimes the plate, especially in trail shoes, can be for stabilizing. You've already got that EVA frame that really helps kind of keep the super foam in check. So it makes sense why that philosophy is continued on with version 4. Now, rounding the shoe on off, let's go into the upper. What do we have?
Yeah, so the upper, you'll notice that the material that we're using on the upper is going to be a nice nylon mesh that we have. You'll also notice the toe guard that we have up through the forefoot is really going to be there for protection. So you got some protection on the trail. And then just a reinforcement through midfoot to kind of lock that foot in place. Lastly, you'll see that we've improved just the heel counter. So this 3D heel counter that's going to really kind of lock that foot, hug it in place, is going to give you a nice security across the upper of this shoe.
Well, Scott, every part of this shoe has been dialed in for the trails. Now, the final question, when can people get this shoe on their feet?
The Xodus Ultra 4 will be available in June of 2025.
Perfect. If you're looking to try out this shoe, you'll be able to find it here at Running Warehouse.